Dawn breaks over Subic Bay, painting the sky in orange and purple. The calm waters mirror the morning glow, but this is no ordinary sunrise. United States Navy vessels anchor beside Filipino patrol boats, framed by lush mountains. On the docks, American and Filipino personnel work side by side, loading supplies, checking equipment, preparing for joint exercises. English and Tagalog mix in the air. Laughter is shared, but focus remains sharp. There are no grand ceremonies, just practical cooperation unfolding in real time. This is the front line of a renewed alliance built on shared effort and a common goal. Forklifts move equipment, sailors and soldiers gather for briefings. The scale of the operation is clear. This is more than a port visit. Subic Bay is once again a strategic foothold in a critical waterway. Every container moved is part of a larger puzzle: geopolitics, security, and the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific. For decades, this bay symbolized American power in Asia. Now that power returns in a new form, lighter, more collaborative, and designed for modern challenges. The return to Subic Bay is about more than military hardware. It's a message of commitment and solidarity. As the morning mist lifts, the strategic importance of this place comes into focus. The United States is back in the Philippines, and Subic Bay is once again at the center of the world stage. The world is watching, even if the work here is done quietly. This partnership is not about occupation, but about building trust. The atmosphere is charged with quiet intensity. Subic Bay's story is being rewritten, one day, one mission at a time. The sun climbs higher, and the work has only just begun. This is the new reality of Subic Bay. History and the future meet here. The American presence in Subic Bay today is fundamentally different from the past. There are no sprawling U.S. bases, just integration with existing Philippine military facilities. U.S. forces are guests, working within Philippine sovereignty. The strategy is low profile, effective, not intrusive. United States personnel share hangars, runways, and ports with their Filipino counterparts. This seamless partnership allows for rapid response without a massive footprint. Instead of building new bases, the U.S. upgrades and enhances Filipino sites, benefiting both nations. The Philippines gains modernized facilities. The U.S. gains access to strategic locations. This approach allows for quick scaling if needed, but keeps a light presence in peacetime. The relationship is now based on mutual respect and shared interests. The U.S. is not an occupying force, but a partner. By integrating with local infrastructure, the U.S. shows commitment while respecting Philippine independence. This is the new face of American engagement in the region. It's a forward-thinking strategy for a changing world. Quiet, deliberate, and built for trust. This is integration, not occupation. To understand the U.S. return to Subic Bay, look west, to the South China Sea. This vital maritime route sees trillions in trade, but is fraught with tension. China claims almost the entire sea, building artificial islands and fortifying them with military outposts. Chinese vessels harass Filipino boats, block fishing grounds, and challenge international law. For the Philippines, these waters are an existential issue, rich in resources and national pride. Diplomatic protests have done little to stop the aggression. The partnership with the U.S. is now crucial, a counterbalance to China's assertiveness. The U.S. presence signals to Beijing that the world is watching. Subic Bay's location makes it the perfect staging ground for monitoring and rapid response. The renewed alliance is a direct answer to the dragon at the door. The stakes are high, and the partnership more critical than ever. The South China Sea drives the revitalization of the U.S.-Philippine alliance. Subic Bay stands ready. The partnership at Subic Bay is about more than ships. It's about people working together. U.S. and Philippine forces engage in joint training and logistics, building real-world interoperability. From maritime patrols to amphibious drills, they learn to operate as one unit. Subic Bay's deep water port and nearby Clark Air Base form a powerful logistical network. Supplies and personnel move rapidly, enabling quick deployment across the region. This proximity to the South China Sea is a game-changer. Help can arrive in hours, not days. Rapid response deters aggression and reassures allies. Cooperation here builds trust and personal bonds. Soldiers learn from each other, sharing skills and culture. These relationships are the glue of the alliance. When crisis hits, they rely on each other as partners and friends. The human element is essential, often overlooked, but vital for stability. Subic Bay is more than a base. It's a watchtower and a bridge between nations. The alliance is forged in daily cooperation. This is where strategy becomes reality. The brothers-in-arms dynamic is a force for peace. Subic Bay's joint operations are shaping the region's future. Subic Bay's story is deeply tied to both Philippine and American history. For much of the 20th century, it was a cornerstone of U.S. military power in the Pacific. That era ended in 1992, when the U.S. was asked to leave, marking a new chapter for Philippine sovereignty. The base became the Subic Bay Freeport Zone, transforming into a hub for trade and industry. Shipyards and warehouses shifted from military to commercial use, fueling economic growth. Subic Bay became a model for successful base conversion. But history has come full circle. China's assertiveness has brought the military back to Subic Bay. The port now blends commercial success with renewed strategic purpose. Its deep water harbor and location are once again in high demand. Subic Bay is reclaiming its role as a critical outpost for regional security. The echoes of history are loud here. The bay's transformation continues, adapting to new realities. Subic Bay stands at the crossroads of commerce and security. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, is the legal foundation for the U.S. return to Subic Bay. Signed in 2014, EDCA is not a basing agreement. It allows rotational U.S. access to Philippine military bases. U.S. forces can pre-position equipment and upgrade facilities, but everything remains Philippine property. EDCA modernizes the alliance. Runways, storage, and infrastructure are improved for both nations' benefit. The agreement started with 5 sites. 4 more were added in 2023. Many facing the South China Sea and Taiwan. EDCA is flexible, adapting to evolving threats and emphasizing joint capacity building. It's not a Cold War relic, but a modern partnership for the 21st century. The U.S. helps the Philippines become a more resilient security partner. EDCA is the engine driving the revitalized alliance. It enables rapid response and deeper cooperation. The sites near Subic Bay are especially vital for joint operations. EDCA is the handshake that makes this new chapter possible. It's the framework for a stronger, smarter alliance. The renewed partnership at Subic Bay brings major benefits to both nations. For the U.S., it's a strategic outpost, projecting power and monitoring the South China Sea. For the Philippines, it means enhanced security, training, and intelligence support. U.S. upgrades to military facilities boost Philippine defense and infrastructure. The presence of U.S. personnel stimulates the local economy, housing, food, services, and shipyard jobs. Subic's commercial shipyards now service U.S. Navy vessels, creating jobs and transferring skills. Regional stability attracts investment and trade, benefiting the broader economy. This partnership is built on shared interests: security for the U.S., a stronger defense and economy for the Philippines. Both sides contribute, both sides benefit. It's a modern alliance for a changing world. Subic Bay is a catalyst for growth and security. The arrangement is a win-win, reinforcing deep ties. Together they build a stable and prosperous future. The renewed U.S. presence in the Philippines brings risks as well as rewards. The biggest risk: increased tension with China, which sees EDCA as a provocation. The Philippines could be drawn into a conflict not of its own making. At home, not everyone welcomes U.S. troops. Nationalist sentiment and concerns about sovereignty persist. Protests and debates are common, reflecting the country's complex history. The government must balance military strength with diplomacy, engaging China while deterring aggression. Over-reliance on the U.S. could limit diplomatic options. The alliance's sustainability depends on political will in both countries. Leadership changes could shift the partnership's direction. Building broad support is essential for long-term success. The risks are real, but for now, leaders believe the benefits outweigh the dangers. The alliance walks a tightrope, balancing deterrence, diplomacy, and domestic concerns. Subic Bay's revival is more than a military move. It's a symbol of renewed alliance. American and Filipino forces working together send a message of unity and resolve. Subic Bay stands as a sentinel, guarding Pacific peace and stability. The strategy is clear: build a resilient distributed defense network for the Indo-Pacific. Subic Bay is a key node, making U.S. operations more flexible and harder to disrupt. The future of Asia's security is being shaped here. The U.S.-Philippine alliance is a cornerstone of regional stability. Cooperation at Subic Bay turns strategy into reality, day by day, mission by mission. This is a story of partnership, shared values, and common challenges. Security is a shared responsibility in an interconnected world. As the sun sets, the alliance stands strong. Subic Bay's promise is renewed. A free and open Indo-Pacific is within reach. The Sentinel is on watch, and the future looks more secure.